there, thanks for tuning in, and if you click this video, hopefully you love comics as much as I do, and I'm going to share with you guys the books that I read for the week. First up, I read World's Finest, The Lost Daughters of Earth 2. This is Volume 1. When the New 52 first came out, they had like so many different books. And when I had learned of these two characters, I think Supergirl was in, well, Power Girl. But Power Girl, who is Earth 2's Supergirl, was in Supergirl is where I first saw her. And the Huntress, who is really Robin from Earth 2, she was in a Bat book a while ago, and it was revealed their origin, that they were from Earth 2, and I thought it was really cool and interesting, so I really wanted to read this, and I will have to admit, it's kind of cheesy. The first half of this book is really cheesy. It doesn't really explain their origins until you get to the very back. The last half of this book is their origin, but they deal with this villain who was created by the Fukushima, nuclear reactor failure, and he's like some kind of monster, or that's not even his real origins, I don't think, because it's all kind of a mystery. They don't know if he came through the portal with them or not, and it was just bad, but the second half of the story that revealed their origin really saved this book for me, so I did rate it 3 out of 5 stars just because it had the origin of how they met and decided to team up. So I thought that was cool, and it kind of salvaged the rating for me. But it was just okay, and I really don't know if they have made any other Huntress and Power Girl books or not. I bet you this is the only one. I wouldn't be a bit surprised because a lot of these new 52s, that's what happened. Okay, up next I read Batman Dark Knight Dark City. This was a book I picked up while browsing at the local library. It was a book that I didn't actively look for, but I just happened to come across. I have noticed with Batman books, they're touch and go. They're either very good or they're just mediocre. I've yet to find ones that were really bad, although this one was very close to bordering on very bad. It is written by Peter Milligan, which I did read a Vertigo book by him that was really good, and I really enjoyed it. But this one was just kind of, it was just kind of a little mediocre. The first part's really strong. It starts out with the Riddler, and of course the Riddler, he's always like, fucking with Batman. He's always got some riddle like he's trying to solve. But this time, the Riddler's just gone downright psychotic, which I thought was kind of unusual for the Riddler character because he's not usually a psychopath like the Joker. So it did make it a little bit more interesting. And of course, there were zombies. So that kind of made for a little bit of an interesting touch on the story. But that story was really short-lived. It was only like maybe a third of this volume. The rest were other supposedly macabre kind of stories. That's why it's called Dark Knight Dark City. Some of it took place in Ireland. So it was just okay. I only rated this 3 out of 5 stars. It was really close to being a 2. But I was feeling generous because it wasn't all that bad, but I kind of didn't like it as much as other Bat stories I've read. Could you live without reading this? I would probably say yeah. Like I said, it was not that great. And it's older Batman stories, but they're not like really old. But yeah, you get my drift. Next we have Grayson, Agents of Spiral. This is Volume 1. And this is a reboot, I guess you could say, of Nightwing, because Nightwing became Grayson. And he's a spy now, which is like, really? For those not really caught up to date on events, when the crime syndicate came to Earth, they captured Dick Grayson. They revealed his identity to the world. And the world thinks he's dead because they killed him, and then, Batman and the other Justice League, resuscitated him. But one of the things that they kept emphasizing in the beginning of this book was how he used to be a circus performer and his parents got killed. Then he became Robin, and then from there he became Nightwing, and now he is a spy. So it's kind of, you know, kind of James Bondish type of stuff, but like, and because his name is Dick Grayson, they make a few bad, very lame dick jokes. So my overall impression of this is not very good because it's so hard to see. Yes, Dick Grayson was Batman at one time, and he was a detective, and he worked with Batman on cases and stuff. But that doesn't mean that he's going to be a good spy, or that it's going to make for a great spy comic. So I really wasn't feeling it. I thought it was a kind of a lame idea. I only rated this one 2 out of 5 stars, and I know a lot of people who are classic Batman fans didn't really feel this one either. It's kind of up in the air. Some people absolutely love this, and some people hated it, and I was one of the people that just didn't like it. After that, I picked up Afterlife with Archie. Escape from something or other, and this is volume 1. Now, I have to admit, I've never read an Archie comic before, because, quite honestly, I think Archie is really outdated. I know that there are some people who are just now starting to get into Archie because they're contemporizing it and making him a little more modern, but I do have to say, it's like Leave It to Beaver, and it's like just wholesome all-Americana shit that I just don't like. And, well, anyways, I did give this a chance just because it's zombies. Surprisingly, I really enjoyed this. It did have, like, a nod to Pet Sematary when Jughead's dog dies, and it's Sabrina. Okay, now I didn't know this, that Sabrina the Teenage Witch was an Archie character, because I remember the show from ABC. I'm not saying that I watched it, but I just, you know, knew it existed, and I was surprised to learn that she was an Archie character, because I didn't know that. Well, anyways, during one of that scene where he's burying his dog, they make a nod to Pet Sematary and something about burying your own, and there was another, like, pop culture reference, too, which I thought was pretty cool, that had to do with zombies, and so, I mean, yeah, it still kind of had that cheesiness of, like, Archie, you know, 1950s kind of shit, but it made up for it in the zombies, and I thought it was entertaining at best, and the art was really good. It definitely kept a decent pace. It wasn't slow or too cheesy, being that it's Archie. So I did enjoy this, and I did rate this 4 out of 5 stars. It is worth checking out if you are a horror fan, or if you are a fan of zombies, then definitely feel free to check this out. I think it was kind of worth it, you know. I mean, not saying that I would pick up the continuation after this. I might not read book 2. I don't think I would be interested in reading Archie, though, because honestly, if it didn't have zombies in it, I don't think I would enjoy this. After that, I picked up Hawkeye, Volume 4, Rio Bravo. This one really started out really bad. It starts out all cartoony like that, and I was like, really? What the fuck is this? This, like, is not a kid's book. But yeah, like, a good portion of the beginning was like this cartoon show, and then they're still dwelling on the storyline of the Russians and Hawkeye's, like, apartment building, which I found to be kind of tiresome. Like, I thought they would have been done with that story, like, a couple volumes ago. Like, how many issues can you write about something like that? He's an Avenger. Can't he just deal with it and get it over with already? Why do you have to, like, ram this shit into the ground so that it's, like... I thought it was an overused plot, and I really didn't appreciate to see this again, because I thought the title of the book, Rio Bravo, I thought it would have been, you know, something different besides that. But it was back in again with that, and it revealed a little bit more about Hawkeye's past, and we meet his brother Barney, and It's kind of all over the place story-wise because it goes back in the past, back in the present, and then earlier events, and later events. It was just all over the place. It was kind of hard to keep up with what was going on with the story because it was all over the place, but by the end I kind of had an idea what was going on. I just really wasn't impressed with it, and I only rated this 3 out of 5 stars because some parts were enjoyable while others were kind of crap, but it wasn't that great. It was just sort of mediocre, so it is what it is. Up next we have Fear Itself, The Fearless. I really didn't mind the Fear Itself storyline. I did not read it in its entirety, but I did think it was enjoyable. If you did not know what Fear Itself was, it were these 8 hammers that were of Asgardian nature, came into the world and they were deposited on certain people, certain heroes and villains, and it was like a Ragnarok type situation. This one mainly featured Valkyrie trying to gather up the hammers from Red Skull's daughter, Sin, so it was just okay. I thought the artwork was decent, it was really good, but overall in its entirety I just thought this was a 3-star book. It was just kind of okay, and a lot of it didn't make sense to how things played out, but it is what it is. After that, I read Uncanny X-Men, the Omega Mutant. Not sure which volume this one is, but this one was epic. This one was really, really great. I did rate this one 4 out of 5 stars. It involves a Omega level mutant who was hidden by Charles Xavier before he died. He becomes aware of that he is a mutant with these insane power scale, and he doesn't know how to control it, and things go out of control. Of course, Cyclops tries to recruit him, and stuff ensues, and I won't say anything more about that because I don't want to spoil it, but this was very, very good, and I rated this 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads.